situation that suddenly sprung up among hours of very peaceful protests with tens of thousands of people. Probably about a half hour ago, something just went south, something small, and it seemed like LAPD capped it off pretty quickly, and now they're trying to work together to try and make this work, it sounds like.
Yeah, it appears like she is the leader of this particular segment of the group, and maybe they're trying to figure out what street they're going to go to next. If we could hear her, perhaps.
Yeah, I hear her saying, if you're not good with this, go home.
Oh, she's cute. She used to put her arm around him and say, oh, sorry.
That's adorable.
That has been the mood for the last couple of days. And again, it's changed since the weekend. Oh, Rob's got his microphone here.
Somehow we got separated. Cool, we're going to be able to get back together. However, Officer Figueroa Gang and I have agreed that we're not with the bullshit today. We with the shits today, that equal rights. We love shits today.
Okay, live television will say that basically they've told them they can get together, but they have to maintain. Here's the editing. You can get together, but you have to behave. They're not going to put up with certain things today.
And we apologize if you hear some offensive language or see a sign, but that's just the nature of this breaking news. But she's definitely rallying the crowd.
And they
there.
respect her. She says, turn that music down, and they turned it down.
Yes. One at a time. He's letting us get together. One at a time.
It's very clear.
Yes.
They're going to let the group get back together, but they're going to do it one at a time.
Okay. Well, and we have seen another element. You see great cooperation there. We've also seen, you saw our live camera down in Hollywood.
Look at them. I love that.
There you go.
They made
I know, Rob,
friends.
Yeah, she's great.
You saw National Guard troops outside the Kodak Theater. Oh, wait.
Oh, we'd love to hear
My
that.
name is Five, so that's even more better. Even more
Tell
better.
me your
I can't believe
message.
we just
What were
said
you
that.
just telling the people?
Oh, we got to get out the way.
Oh, where'd she go?
See, we have to get out of the way, she says. We have to.
A little hectic here.
Yes, all right. It's power in numbers today. We want unity today. Somehow, together. Officer Figueroa Carlos said we could stand right here. So, power in numbers is what it is for today. We got separated with their tactics. I understand that. I don't want that. We don't want to do anything that's not peaceful. We've been peaceful all day. And if you think about it, literally no one's been getting hurt in these riots. We're fucking up white man's money. You can bleep that out if you want to. That's on you. Okay, that's on you. We're not touching each other. We're loving each other. And that's a problem for some people, but not us today. And they're going to let us be together. Look it. Carlos did it. Carlos did it. All right.
All right, big fan of Carlos there. So,
well, sorry about that, Rob.
yeah, sorry about the language, but she has a really good message that she's trying to pass along right here, and that is they want their peaceful march, and they've been doing really well. LAPD is working with them right now, and it's just a matter of trying to logistically make this work. If you take a look off to the right here, you can see some of the crowd that was cut off from the main march is now, calmly and not one by one, but at least working along the sidewalk here and meeting back up with the main crowd. So LAPD is trying to make this work, and it sounds like the protesters are doing the same.
It seems like the law enforcement is facilitating the march, and helping them out and trying to get them, to stay cohesive and organized. And so it's been good to see that today.
Yeah, and also, I think we saw yesterday with Chief Michael Moore, he said, they are trying to change their practices. They're trying to work with the community, and everyone is trying to, they want to make change. So, and they said they have been implementing lots of different protocols to implement it within the department.
We're looking at the shot there on your left is a National Guard, a couple of National Guardsmen talking with some protesters, and some of the protesters are being a little confrontational. I believe that's Chris Christie's camera. And Chris, we saw on Sunset National Guard troops outside the Kodak Theater, and now we're seeing a couple of more here. What are you seeing as far as their role in this at this point?
This appears to to be a pretty friendly interaction, I believe. We were looking here over at Sunset and Vine, which is where they were kind of staging. This is on the other side. They seem to be so that's the east side of the Cinerama, the ArcLight Cinemas here in Hollywood, and then you're looking at the west side as we tilt down, where they appear to be having a conversation with some of the protesters. Obviously, very unclear what's going on down there, what they're saying. Looks fairly friendly, but maybe a little bit of animation. Just hard to tell sometimes from this high up, but you can see some clapping. That's always a good sign. And this is one of the few times that we've seen the National Guard really interacting, at least in our area, with the crowd. You know, over the weekend, it was a very different posture for the National Guard when they were finally put in place and deployed to Santa Monica and other places. It was a much more defensive tone. Now you see them actually in a position where they can actually socialize and have some interaction with the crowd. And obviously, like I said, that round of applause is always a good sign. But I do get the impression, as we widen out between this group here and the group of National Guardsmen on the other side, again on the east side, that's going to be Sunset and Vine. Right there is Sunset and Vine. You can see they do have a line set up, peaceful protesters sitting in the crosswalk there. It just appears that they are trying to prevent the crowd from going west of Vine, which would put them in front of the famous Cinerama Dome. You can see somebody standing on a car there taking pictures. What's interesting about this shot, car traffic is getting through here, albeit with some disruption, but for the most part, the crowd seems to be intentionally trying to stay out of the way of traffic. In fact, a little while ago, almost the entire group that you see there was practically on the sidewalk. Now there's a little more volume on the intersection, and here once again comes another group that we were talking about earlier. They appear to be meeting up with this group here. This is all happening on Vine Street that you're looking at in this shot, guys.
Yeah, there are several different groups that are all trying to link up together today in this very large show of unity. I know we heard in Rob Hayes' live report, she was saying we want unity and we want it in powers and numbers, and they want to stay peaceful. Let's go to another very large gathering in downtown LA. That is where Carlos Grande is. Carlos?
Well, we're outside of City Hall. We're in Grand Park, and you can see the crowd of people behind me. Now, the crowd has not been static. They were here, then they moved and started marching through downtown Los Angeles, ended up here again. Then they all moved to the LAPD headquarters. They were there for a while, and then they moved back here. So, again, it's thousands of people. You can see it out there. And I cannot stress enough, very peaceful. There have been no problems that we can see here. They're giving their message. They're on the steps of City Hall, and you can see in the background LAPD protecting City Hall, putting barricades up. But again, the people here just want to give their message. They want to tell the world what they're feeling, and that is it. So far, we have not seen any problems, any kind of violence or anything like that. It's been a very quiet day here in downtown Los Angeles. So it's been a positive message. And I'm trying to see if I can speak to someone. Sir, can I ask you a quick question? We're live on TV right now,
Okay.
Channel 7.
How you doing?
Why did you want to come here? What are your thoughts?
Well, I was debating coming here, but I know that I have a part to play in this big scheme, and I really want to see change, so that's why I'm basically here. I hope to see police brutality decrease. I hope to see racism abolished, and it's just sad that we had to come to this, but this is America, and this is how we make change. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak, man.
It's been a very positive day. I have not seen any violence. It's been peaceful. I mean, this is the message that you and others want to give.
Yes, of course. I wanted to witness myself instead of just looking on social media and media outlets to see if it is peaceful or if I would witness a riot. But all I'm seeing is people cheering, being together. It's just unity, and we're all standing for one thing. I just hope we get more organized to really get the change and pull through on this.
I guess you had seen on social media the people that are not part of this, the looters, and was that something that was a concern to you?
Yeah, it was a real concern. I was willing to come out here and do my part to stop people looting, to refrain for that narrative, you know? It's really important that we keep it peaceful because the numbers is what we need. So if we have people afraid to come out here and protest, that is the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish here, you know? So I was one of those guys that were afraid, but now I'm not afraid, and I should be coming here more days now, yeah.
Thank you so much. It's a very positive. What's your name, sir?
My name is Kashif.
And your last name?
I'm not going to give my last name. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Very kind. So you can see that is the message that people here are trying to give. You heard him say he was concerned coming here. He had seen what had happened over the weekend, Monday, in some places. Again, some people that were taking advantage of the situation to loot or to possibly cause trouble. But again, as we're seeing here, very peaceful. He came here because he wanted to see it for himself. And he saw it, and he sees that it's peaceful. But again, yes, some of the things that had been happening were concerning to him. I'm sure concerning to many others. Maybe that's why the crowds are so big today, because they finally said, look, I want to get out there. I want to see if this is really what's happening. I want to see what's happening. And they do want to come out to see that it is peaceful. And that is the message that everyone here apparently is trying to say today. Back to you guys.
What a wonderful message. Carlos, thank you. And I like that elbow bump.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Chris Christie. He's been over the Hollywood scene where so many people are gathered. And that's a new sign. We haven't seen that one earlier.
Yeah, this is two of those groups now converging and growing rapidly, actually, at Vine Street and Sunset Boulevard. This is where the National Guard is keeping the crowd just to the east of Vine, and that crowd is clearly growing. As you mentioned, Colleen, I think that is certainly true. A lot of people are seeing what's going on and coming out, especially people that live in the neighborhood here, joining in. It's got a viral effect, especially when these start to take on more of a festive atmosphere. It's almost like a parade at some point. So you think about the parades that we've missed in the last few months because of the coronavirus. Well, this is kind of reminding me of that at times, especially when we see these really large groups in caravans of cars moving through the streets here in unison. You heard that gentleman talking about the feeling of unity down there. It certainly seems to be present from my view up here. We are seeing so many people, such a large volume of people, and so many different groups of them across the Hollywood area and across the city of Los Angeles this afternoon. And in this case, a big group right here. We're even seeing it online. You know, we're seeing that virtual Blackout Tuesday that's taking place on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram. Everybody showing unity and solidarity by posting the black images, the solid black images on their Instagram feed, and kind of taking a day off from posting to take a moment and unite with one another and think about the reason that everybody's coming together today and observing the conversation that we are all about to have. This is going to spark so many conversations that I think it's hard to wrap your head around the things that could be in store, the change that could be in store that this has triggered. We don't know yet what that change is going to be, what it's going to look like, but it's almost impossible to imagine a nation going through a moment like this without significant change.
Think of George Floyd's family and how they're seeing this in Los Angeles. Houston is like 20,000 strong right now in his hometown. And in Paris, France, I just saw that there's thousands of people in Paris, France right now paying homage to George Floyd and then somebody who died in French police custody in 2016. So it must be really encouraging for them because perhaps something good, something change will finally happen because of all this. And the anger that it has erupted because of this is leading to something good.
Well, they said their brother was a gentle giant, and he was all about spreading positive energy, and so it's good that they came out and talked about their brother because we've just been seeing that video that is so unsettling for many of us to watch, but to hear his family saying he was a big brother, he was a child, he was someone's little one, and he really was all about peace. It's good to see people getting out and just showing that they want to see change. All right, and we're going to continue. We have our reporters out everywhere. Let's go to Sid Garcia. Sid, you're in Monrovia at another peaceful protest.
Got a couple of hundred people out here. This started about an hour ago. Let me step out of the way here. You've got a couple hundred people here in O-Town, Monrovia. And the goal here is to protest, and they're doing it peacefully. They've marched up and down Myrtle Avenue. And we had a chance to talk to some of the organizers, including a concerned business owner. Here's the deal. They don't want the criminal element here. They want their message to be sent peacefully. They're loud, they're peaceful, they're organized. Take a listen. Here's what some of them had to say earlier.
We need to do this out here today because I live out here and it's not, how do you say, aware. People are not aware of what's going on, and they are, but they don't see it as it could be peaceful, and we have done it peacefully, and we could continue to be peaceful and bring awareness of Black Lives Do Matter.
This has always been a peaceful town.